Um, mic check. Ni ichi. Wait, what? I mean, san ni ichi ni san. Okay, I think the mic's good now. Well, anyways, to get things started real quick, I'm gonna just say this before the video actually starts and let y'all off. I might say a whole lot. Like, please beg my pardon for that. I say a lot. Ignore that part. You can put this video in 1.5 speed if you want to, just to get it done. This is the longest video that I'll probably have out here, especially for Area 88, because Area 88 is a pretty big map. I wasn't prepared to stream, to record for 37 minutes. But yeah, I'll leave y'all to it. This should only be a minute. Hello, this is Yume, or as most people know me in Strinova, Dave Kiram, or they just call me Dave, you know. Today I have a guest along that's from EU servers to help show how effective some of these movements are, and as well as grabbing early info, just for this guy.
Hey, I'm EXO. From EU. I'm a sniper and duelist mainly. For that reason, there will be some early picks and that will be shown for those people playing sniper like me. So yeah, get ready, sniper community.
Alright, well, cutting to the intro real quick, I think we'll get started on the guide. Alright, so immediately going, we'll start things off, right, with exploring B, moving into mid, and lastly A being the final destination to finish off this guide. So yeah, once the rounds start, we'll get going, you know. EXO, you excited being here?
Yeah, man. It's a great opportunity for me also learn some things, you know.
Of course, of course. The knowledge is power after all, so yeah. Alright,
I'll let you win more.
yeah. Alright, to get things going for B, we'll explain the attacker side and pushing through B main, right? Especially like going to B window from here, alright? As most people know, there are various ways to get across, but most people make the mistake of smoking the window when they could just use a simple trick though. First, use your camera angle from your right hand peek once you get to this box, to see if anyone's at the bottom of B window or like B window pit, which is usually genuinely around right here as marked on the map. I look over here, down there, pretty much that's what I call pit. After clearing and ensuring your info is correct, right, or accurate, that there's like no one down there technically. Next, try to paper onto this wall, right? If you want to cross this wall without getting sniped down from the sniper in B heaven, if they're just perhaps sitting on the right side of B heaven, right? Then you can just jump onto this wall, or you can just back out, or actually you can jump across from this wall and jump up to a height to cross over to this wall. Now you would move up from here. You move up towards this right here. Do you see me, EXO?
No.
Yeah. So as you can see, I'm stringing front of this wall. He can't see me. But what I do from here now is that I can look for lower B garden, upper B garden, and B heaven, and get info for my whole entire team, where the enemies are and what it currently looks like, the situation as it is. When afterwards, right? There's a way to cross B window safely, and this thing I use technically most of the time, especially in rank. This is just me though. Most other people just cross it without caring. They just smoke B window when you don't have to. I go from around this middle part, right, and I jump up and stringify towards this middle way, so then that way it kind of hides my body. Doing it from here to B window across from here gives you a better shot, because by the time you drop down, you're around this angle and no one's like, heaven can't see that partially. So whenever I do this, right, EXO, just watch real quick. Do you see me whenever I do this? All right, I'm about to do it in 3, 2, 1.
I saw you for literally a split second.
For a split second, yeah. And as you can see, you can watch this repeatedly as many times as you want to. And now I cross over in the B pit, right? So EXO, what do you have to say about me doing this, right?
Well, it's a bit of a hard angle for any really sniper to shoot because it's like the thing is, if you expect it, you might be able to get a leg shot or something, but any more than that is extremely impossible for the most part. It's completely impossible. And so you're completely taking space of the pit, and that way, if as a sniper, for example, me, I'd probably just run away, probably rotate or go to upper garden here. Try to run away from heaven because heaven is basically gone for good now. Now that the team is there, the enemy team is there, where you are. So it's basically impossible for me to try to do anything because the moment I peek, you can easily kill me.
Yep. And what if snipers drop down the B pit down here? What do you have to say about that?
Beep. So even if you manage to somehow get a kill over here, right? You're giving up the entirety of the space over here. Everything here is completely for the enemy to take, depending on who you're playing with, and that way you're completely done with, or done for. Especially with Kanami being probably on heaven, on enemy team side. That way she's completely taking. Basically, it's gonna be the opposite way. Instead of you taking control of side, it will be Kanami taking control of side. So as a defender, you're completely in a losing place and positioning.
Yeah, I agree with that. You want to go on like how Kanami would position herself to take B site if
Yeah.
Kokona lost the space technically? He'll always
So
keep
usually Kanami would be standing here, right?
up here. Yep.
So if Kokona loses control of site, she could easily go over here, for example, try to get a few shots on, controlling upper garden, heaven, and even that place at the same time, and controlling even cockpit. So after that, she could easily just completely singlify, get up here even if the team is pushing, and that way, instead of you controlling heaven, the enemy team is controlling heaven, and that's completely losing the round because with a equal team skills, you're basically losing all space, and space is key to win any game really, especially like Strinova, for example, where the more space you have, the more you are limiting the enemy movements, and so yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for the explanation for like how attacking Kanami should take space for B. And also like now after showcasing what a defender's POV as a sniper is, right? Since he is a sniper main, as he said at the beginning, he realized that he just lost so much space with all that. I mean, yeah, he gets a kill, right? But then he loses him. He might end up getting himself killed, or just not even being able to finish off the kill. It depends, but pretty much he should be dead if he comes down here. So the best thing he could do is he had to give up space for B heaven. All right, so when I get around right here after, right, usually people arrive to this side of B, right? They want to climb up to heaven, right? And there's many ways to go about this, but most people have the mistake of going from this main angle to jump up here, right? Right here. What do you have to say, EXO? Like, if I did that right, oh, what does that make me? What happens to me, you know?
That's basically just asking the enemy team to kill you.
Yeah.
Because even as a sniper, if I didn't give up position here and was just like, okay, I'm stubborn, I'm gonna stay, even from here I can kill you. Easy headshot.
Yeah, even if I jump over here, right? I jump up this paper over here, right? For all we know, he could still be sitting right here, and he was waiting for you to jump up anytime to snipe. And another thing is when you jump up from this angle, right? You want to go down the. Actually, no. You do the what I did over there, climbing up the B heaven from B or low main. Let's say the sniper for some reason is down here, right? When he jumps up there, right? I get this brief window timing where I get to see a portion of his head up there, or like him jumping up, and I just shoot and body shot him, most likely cracking his shield. So there goes his shield, you know, and it makes him harder to try to take B heaven, especially like let's say your main or your Mara, right? And you can get body shot by sniper, you know, out of nowhere. There goes your shield. What more can I say? You
I
know?
do wanna add one more thing onto it. Especially if the sniper is actually playing lower garden. Over here, it'd probably singify like this, and if they can see you from there, a sniper can easily singify you if you're not looking towards them when you're singified, because your head is actually bigger than actually usual, bigger without singifying. So this is one of the easiest shots for a sniper from the sides.
Yep. So, other than that, now you're asking, how do I fix this mistake so, or like I could take B heaven? And how am I going to in the first place if I can't go up that way? Well, then I just stringify onto this, right? I move around over to this side, right? Now, if he goes to B lower garden, right? And he's looking to where I'm at right now, can you even see me at all, EXO?
No.
Alright, now I'm gonna move over it. Can you see me now?
Basically only your hand.
Yeah, so only my hand. So around right here, right? As long as you're within this right side, so like lining this up right here with this line right here, and anywhere right side of this right here, you should be good, right? And now when I jump up, right? Do you see me from down there jumping
No.
up? Yeah. All right, now can you come back to heaven and kind of like show your POV for like when I'm doing this for heaven though? So let's say I'm like here again, right? I'm gonna jump up, right? Do you see me jump up?
No. All I heard was jump.
Alright, you ready?
Yep.
Yep, all he heard was a jump, so he might back up, right? But he just doesn't get that easy shot from either lower B main, lower B garden, my bad, or just like heaven, you know? Around at the choke point to re-entry and retake heaven. And now I can just use my camera angle right here to see for all of info for B site from those 3 main trigger points that defenders will need to retake. But other than that, you think this sums up about moving on to B site and taking up space, claiming the site for free?
Yeah, I think it sums it up pretty well. We can move into mid now.
Alright, let's get going then. Alright, now, next, moving into mid, right? We have many sniper position that EXO will generously explain a few rat spots that I'll point out, which can be pretty effective if used properly. So I'll hand it over to you, EXO. So let's have you explain the first point.
So the first point is usually around here, which is honestly, in my opinion, the best one for starters. Because over here, you can easily take a shot, and if you feel like, okay, I'm gonna die here, or if you take the first shot and you miss, you can either drop down instantly or go even here, try to see if there's anyone for info, and then you can easily go back into A window here. And there you're controlling site while preventing anyone from standing over here in mid trying to take some damage. For the second one, which is in my opinion the worst place you can be as a sniper, is mid here, full mid. It says stupid position completely, if I'm honest. If someone comes in from lower mid, you're completely doomed. You're unlikely to be able to run away. If they hard push it, you're dead. Especially with the tradition of Mara now. Mara and Mink together, basically you're completely dead. You're slowed by Minkyu and queued by Mara, you're dead.
Yeah.
Which is why you shouldn't really hold this position here.
Yeah,
The last one is gonna be here.
last one.
Here, here you can do a lot of things. You take control of lower mid, take control of the ability to go from mid to A, and that's huge, especially if you know they like to go there. One thing is you can actually jump peek as well, but that's gonna be left for you, Dave, to explain.
Alright,
Along with
so
the red spot.
alright, I'll gladly take it over now, EXO. Sorry if I kind of like try to jump in at the opportunity sometimes. But
That is fine.
yeah, cause like I was gonna say also in mid, right? Even if you come out, right, just being here in general, I agree that is like pretty stupid, right? Because when you're running away, right, you might even just like lose your shield in general. Yeah, so like when they come out through mid, right, they are advancing, bro. Especially in high elo, they don't stop. They keep moving forward. Usually only like 2 people is like behind. So just in case one person gets sniped, one person is back there reviving, the rest are pushing upwards to take free space of mid. Now, this rat spot that he wanted me to show y'all, right? So right here, we get up to this wall, right? There's 5 boxes as you can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as my white crosshair kind of just showed. Around here, right? You can actually stand up here. There's a secret ledge, right? That's invisible though. So it's around usually between box 3 and 4, but mostly on the left side of box 4. So like if I jump up here, right? Box 4, right? Right here. Mostly where I'm at. You see where I'm at? I'm on box 4 of left side though. Between mid. Right here, you see as I move, I'm kind of like lowering, losing altitude or latitude, whatever you want to call it. I kind of sound stupid now, but whatever, you get the point though. And I don't want to lose that, so I'd be careful moving to the left. But usually right here is a spot for the ledge, right? And up here, right, I can stringify and unstringify, and I'll still be up here. And right here, I get easy info. I could see lower of mid, right? Just in case they go. And at most, you'll see them at like this bottom portion, right? But yeah, that's about it. And like that's as most as you can see them, because they might move on the, like, when you're walking this way, they might be on the right side of down there. I see all of mid. I see maybe if someone was like standing around the B mid, right? Over here for B rotation, right? B main rotation. I could see them right there. And I could also see rotation from mid the A main from right here. And that's a lot of info. And usually whenever I normally play sniper, right, I use this ledge too whenever I want to, and I could like jump out, peek, snipe him. Well, I know. Or, and another way too is like if you don't want to like quick scope, right, you can just aim in, look around like right here, right, you know, and then jump out to the side and just like shoot them, you know. Pretty easy if you get the point. And yeah. And then instead of running away from this spot, right, instead of running the lower mid, right, you can just go down here into this rat spot. Exo, you wanna explain that rat spot real quick?
Okay, so when you're playing around here as a sniper, or even doing the strategy spot over here, sometimes you need to escape, right? Sometimes you cannot though. Sometimes you're like, okay, there's 50 people pushing me. I am already very late on the rotation. I'm not gonna have time. I'm gonna die. So one thing you could do is just get over here and stringify. Of course, I have to note that only one person can get over here safely. Otherwise, they'll be able to see you, and you're basically dead. But the good thing about this spot is that you can't really be seen from anyone. As Dave, you could probably show them by standing up there.
Yeah, which I kind of did. I just already like showcased.
Yeah.
I can't see him even from my right here, right? I don't see him. He doesn't even show up on the mini map. The best I could see him is dropping down from right here, right? But then that's kind of like really hard though. It's just only like a pixel. I see his head.
Yeah. And it's also a good position for someone like a Flavia, for example, could stand here maybe and just wait for someone to get out, maybe even down. You're not expecting it, and just get shot down, queue out, and basically get a free kill early in the round.
Yeah, so like standing right here, Exo will not see me if I'm like up there at all. Even right where he's standing right now, he doesn't even see me on the mini map. He doesn't even see me at all. So this is pretty good. But the only problem with this right here is that you might get seen at lower B right here, right? Let's say there's one person down there, right? They'll see you, right? But then it's just kind of like you're stringified though, so you just kind of, you know, make your escape right here, I guess. And just kind of like drop down the spawn, you know, heading towards spawn if they see you down there. And like you're stringified, so it should be pretty good. Your teammates from B main should be able to come over quickly to help aid you, so that way you don't get run down. And most of the time they'll be looking down here, right? Because they'll be standing up right here in upper B garden, or just like over at this choke point where going into heaven from garden right here. So yeah, and they'll be able to help you escape, especially in this rat spot. And the thing is, like, please, only one person, two person, the second person without a doubt will expose you wherever the enemy is from here, and they'll see the second person, they'll look and they'll try to shoot you. When they jump out to shoot you, right, after smoking like over here and over upper B garden, right, then they can swing out right here and they'll see the other rider there too. And then so no matter how much you try to squeeze two people into that one rat spot, right, it's not gonna work. And being 50 and like being 50 flesh and you're hiding right there, right, but the second person your second teammate, right, comes to screw you over, you're just dead. Might as well. So just know, I will never advise to have more than one person. That's my advice. Do not have more than one person in this rat spot. Alright. Now moving on to the last area, which is A site, right? As you're rotating from B site going to defend A site, right? Typically no one goes through mid to A as defenders, unless the attackers are going into A through A long, you know? So like going from down there, right? They don't cut that. They just cut here to go through this alley. If attackers are going through mid to A, right? And also A long to just get towards A, right? You come through right here, right? Because like going through mid, right? Bottom mid will be exposed to many danger as well as rotating enemies from B. Because then like you're kind of down here, right? And if they all had a brain cell and decide to have two people swing you down here, you're kind of screwing spawn, low key. And like going down here, right? You might never know if there's a lurker just sitting up there in B and mid, you know. So going through here is fine, right? You can go down there if you want to. Just be cautious of the lurker in mid. And so remember that the way you rotate and position yourself relies on the info on the map that is already presented, that was gathered from the start, you know. So EXO, back to you, you know.
Alright, so I agree with everything that Dave said, of course. Seeing through here is honestly the best way, because also you're taking control of, or helping to take control of site and bank, which the attackers usually like to take space with. One good way to actually take control of upper bank and side at the same time as a sniper is this ledge over here. Over here, you can take control of upper bank. You can see basically the majority of it along with the entire site. If you go on that one, Dave, I'll showcase it to you by just standing there. You can go on the ledge.
Yep, I will go on the ledge now.
If you look here, you can actually see me, and that basically takes control of this entire side, forcing the enemy to take the pillar right side. And if they even accidentally peek over here, the sniper could easily snipe them, forcing them basically on lower mid and right side of pillar, and maybe even the door.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
And also hiding up there, right? The sniper on A tower over here, right? From the main building at A, they can't even see you right over there, right? They literally cannot see you perching up right here. The only way people would see you, right, is that they're going through mid to go around right here towards him. Or, I mean, obviously he'll hear it and then he'll back away from the sound knowing they're coming through mid towards him. And then from right here too, going into bank, right? Usually people look over here too, but they're mostly focused about getting into lower bank. That these they're not even wary of the sniper over there. And like, obviously they are kind of wary about getting shot, right? But like, why would sniper just be up there, you know? But yeah, and typically you could just paper onto it and it makes it harder for the enemies. So they give up trying to fight right here and just go in the bank automatically. So yeah. Now with like ways, right? If you're just a good sniper, right? I guess you could just go up close range and then you just, you know, snipe them. if you're EXO right over here, you know, he's a pretty good sniper. And like right here, right, you can jump up to the side, right, to see more and like get a snipe, right. But the only problem with that is that you have to know that Kanami's not looking right there at your spot, right, looking into this A window right here, or the A bank window from over around there, you know. Now, but furthermore, we now have already explained a power move on the defender side, the retake most of the site and most of bank, right? Um, there's also things I want to show too, such as Nobu spots, right? So obviously, I'm not gonna go through all of this, right? I'm gonna just go over through the small ones, right? So Nobu, right? Let's say you have A2, right? There's this one good spot that you can place right here. And it kind of covers most of bank, if you ask me, especially lower and upper bank, and especially the people on pillars too. And let's say they smoke right here, right? They're not gonna look up to see this pylon. This pylon's like A2. It's like invisible until like one person is like in the range, and it scans them, and then it shows up. But other than that, yeah, no one like look up because they're trying to like focus on taking A site and trying to go in the bank. So right here is a pretty good spot. And then you know, people already in bank won't be able to shoot it out because they probably won't find it out because it's outside. Who's gonna go outside after being in bank, you know, as an attacker? Because going outside of bank is kind of leading to more dangers and more shots for the defenders to shoot at you. But yeah, I mean, you probably won't find out that pylon for a long time too, unless you're watching this guide, like literally right now. But yeah.
Now we can move into the next part, really.
Back to
Dave,
EXO.
I want you to showcase it because my ping is a bit higher now, but if you want to escape from around here, let's say you're around here, being shot by a few people, how would you escape it?
Yeah, so how I would escape, right? So the way I'd go about this is like I'd get onto this pillar, right? And as a defender, right, I'm stuck, right? I'm like I get slowed down, right? But because I didn't rotate fast enough, right, I'm stuck in bank, right? But this is also a good stall thing too. Just play this pillar and like stall the enemies. Sure, lower bank might see you and would try to help come over here to like try to help get rid of you, right? But if you play this well enough, your teammates will be able to focus on the enemies that are shooting you, that they kind of start slowly like not shooting you as much, you know. But like you will get shot at. And another thing is, if no one's like lower A main, right, I mean lower A bank, right, and most of the enemies are up here in the upper bank, right, then what I would go about it, right, is I get onto this pillar, I drop down to this bottom, right, and I stringify paper down onto this. So I stringify down here, and I move around right here and go out. That's one escape you can do. Or like if you feel like the sniper's like watching, Raichi's watching, you know, you could like go right here real quick, check for info, fast, do this, look at your mini map, and like if the enemies jump down on you, right, sure, your best bet is just having to wing it and jumping out here, the A main. And it's also a pretty good stall method too, to fight for post plant A if it's a 1v1, right? You come out here, you can go back up to the upper bank and just sit right here, you hear them. Or you just run out and then go to A main over here towards A long. And yeah, you kind of like stall in a pretty good 1v1. But yeah, now, anything else you would have to say, you know, after explaining about the part for the pillar in bank?
Well, I think that sums it up for for bank. I think we could move on to another red spot, a classic for this video, really.
Yeah, so, well, what would you say, you know?
Well, this place, for example, here.
Yeah.
Of course, this is like something you can use once or twice maybe in a game, especially in higher elo. You probably only can use it once really, and they'll start expecting it. What this does is basically just waiting for the Kanami or Richie or Maddie or whatever for the attackers to appear over here or stand here to try to get an easy kill or to hold the site. You just pull out from here, kill them, and you can just run away instantly back into a bank or wherever the team is fighting and help them there. This is useful for someone, especially like Galatia, for example.
Hmm.
She can easily just kill TP, and that's basically a 5v4 now.
Yeah, and you know, from right there, right? I can't even see you if you're down there on top of that A main tower, you know? I can't even see you until like I cross right here. I'm not even looking to my right. And even then, right, even if I look to my right slightly, right, I'll see you on the mini map, but like you're like so skinny, right? You're already stringified that it's kind of like, wait, what? I see someone to my right, and then you just see up there, but no one's really looking to your right as they're pushing A long, going in the bank, right? Because then they're just focused on like trying to get on site, everything. They're mostly looking to their left as you run towards A main, right? And so I think that's a pretty good spot, right? Like if you haven't already exposed the fact that you're already here, right? Then being right there is actually a pretty good spot, because then later you can get who's ever just gonna sit up in tower, you know? Especially kind of me, Reichi, or Madalena, you know, on attacker. Um, Now on to pushing A main, right? There's typically a way to avoid getting hit from mid, even though it might slow your push in the bank, I mean, immensely. But let's say you don't have a Reichi, right? So you have to improvise to not catching shots from mid, right? Um, as we go on, as we go to this side of A main, right? Right here, they don't see you, right? I kind of like run across, right? To like go from here, right? I cut across and I just run over here, right? I'm over here now, right? And then you're thinking, what can I do next, right? How do I go about this? I can drop down here and I jump up occasionally whenever I need to. And around this side, right? As long as you jump up continuously, right? Past this border right here, you're out of the time zone. But then once you get to this side, right? You have to go, because jumping up will not like stop the timer. So you have to go around this pretty fast. And right here, you're pretty good. Yeah, you come around here. Most people are gonna be in mid, are still gonna be looking at A main, right? They don't expect you to jump from here. Like EXO, if you go to mid, right, and you're sitting up there, right, and I do that, right?
Yep.
How much of me do you actually like see? So let me do this real quick. So I jump up right here, and let's go. Put it into action, right? I'd be careful about the timing, right?
Yeah,
But
for
yeah.
this, you might be in a bit of a risk through because of snipers, but of course, really, a sniper shouldn't be playing mid, so it's a little bit of a weird situation. But yeah, if the sniper is playing there, you have to be a bit more careful.
Mhm.
But it's a bit of a hard shot still. It's like a single flying shot. Not everyone can hit that. If I'm playing through maybe the rat spot we showcased earlier, over here, I'm not gonna be able to see you at all. If I'm playing through window, I'm not gonna be able to see you either, because I'm gonna be taking your 10 peek.
Yeah. Because men's gonna be focused on like not getting sniped by the economy on tower, or who's ever just A main tower, you know, running for range. But as you can see, I lost health, right? And so I'd say this is like a pretty risky way to roundabout going, right? But this is also a good way to stall for like post plant, right? It's like a 1v1, right? Another great scenario to use this side, right? To play around and, you know, kind of like just go about it and get them. Um, so let's see. But yeah, without boundary timer, not worrying too much about it, and you know you'll make it once you've done it enough times, right? Yeah, you'll be fine. And then this is also another way to go into lower A bank, right? And like going through mid right here, right? Kind of like peaks a lot of like danger, especially, and like you're closer to the enemy, so their shots are going to be more on point rather than from range, because most people don't train their aim from like that long of range from mid to over here or whatever, you know. And you're going to be stringified too, so you take less damage either way. But yeah, I'd say this like works like once in a while, right? But the means to escape from bank, if you're an attacker, right, and you're playing for post play, right, and like A bank, the defenders are like doing a really good job of retaking it, right? Then and you need the stall, right, or you need the escape, right? Just run over here, right, and like just drop down over here, but be quick about it and like go around and jump up around right here as soon as you can to stop the boundary timer. And you're kind of like safe, you know. You don't get shot anymore from down here, right? Because you're trying to fly across. From my right here, right, I can't even see you down there moving around or Stringify papering down there. From here to I can't. From here I can't, right? Because it's just like you're gonna be lower part, right? But like if you jump up really high thinking the boundary's gonna be out, it's not. So you might as well just go about it quickly and go up to the back side of this, not on this left side, but the back side of this to avoid the timer. Then yeah. And that's something about A post plant, right? Or just A main pushing. And when I post plant for A, right, I try to place bomb right here, or like typically right here, pretty much. Don't put it right here, or right behind this box, or like right here, because then you're blocking sight for playing A tower, you know, and that screws you over, and then your sniper and long range, you know. So
If you want the sniper to be happy, really, you would have to place it where I'm standing right now.
yeah.
Because even if you place it here, they can just defuse it from here, and the sniper can hardly take a shot from here. So if you want the sniper on your team to be happy, this is the only place. Maybe also could be here in the very middle.
And that's about it, you know. Basically, this line I'm walking right here. This is probably the ideal spot for most plants. So yeah. So EXO, I think you kind of learned quite a bit, you know, especially that one spot over there, shooting in the bank, right?
Yeah,
You just find that out.
I can vouch for that spot. Yeah, I remember you told me about it before, and I did use it, and it was actually pretty useful, you know.
Yeah, it worked for retaking bank and A, right? Pretty
Yep.
well, right?
My team basically had the entire like bank entirely under control just because of that position.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a pretty effective means. So there's that. And I mean, thank you for watching this. You know, you can use this guide however you want to, right? Whatever, recreate this video, do it whatever you want, right? But just, you know, give me credit. I want the credit in that too. So, well, now you know more about A and like some good spots too. And you know, especially sniper spot, that one Nobu pylon placement. I'm not gonna tell you any more secrets about that. And then just kind of like the rat spot in mid, and then way to push B site, having sight and movement across B window, and like going up to B heaven on the onto the cockpit side. So yeah. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll be out. See you later.
That's a good end.